Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Sensitive /
Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
sensitive / offensive content disclaimer. Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Travelers and those alike, welcome to the Orion Effect. Tonight's show is brought to you by, that's right,
Food paranormal.
That's right. Ghost of Stanton, check out the tours throughout the year here in Shenandoah Valley. Also is brought to you by, that's right, the Cabin on 360 and Historic Mechanicsville Turnpike. Check it out. Get your tours in or get your private investigation weekly. Touch base with Ryan C. Jones or Dennis Eslock to get your reservation. Also, the show's brought to you tonight by Booze Paranormal Equipment, the right price for the right person at the right time. Thank you for joining us. I am the social media hitman, the original hitman of social media, Ed Odell,
And I am Rhonda Harris,
my handler.
the handler.
That's your name now. You're the handler. We have a special show for you guys tonight. It's not something we regularly do. However, last week was really fun. It's probably not going to get as crazy. Well, and it's in another way it may. But finding that and the decision I made on this show tonight, we decided to do a panel show. And tonight we have two very, very special people. We may have more joining us, but right now from the Otter's Den, we'd like to introduce Keith Ottersberg is in the house.
Woohoo!
Hey, what's up?
Hello, and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Where the show never ends. Come inside, come inside.
Absolutely.
And from the network itself, one of the network executors, and from her own show, Bag of Nuts, we like to introduce you to our lovely Susan is in the house.
Stop, people! I can talk.
Yeah,
Hey,
don't talk too
Susan.
much.
Hey,
It's awesome.
Welcome, you guys, and thank you for coming out and hanging out with us tonight on this show. It's going to be interesting. Before we get started, there's something I do want to talk about on the network level. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to make this statement. This show and majority of our shows are based on an opinion insight. Whatever information we are given, we're getting from other locations, and we will provide that information on which we get it from. If you feel the need, or if there's someone that wishes to fact check us, please do so. But please reach out to us and let us know that you feel that information is correct. This show is based on opinion and insight only. And this is our insight, our knowledge, and our wisdom. So please be considerate. And if you're a fact checker, please understand where this show comes from. Is it opinionated, instated? And if it's something that's stated, it does have some base fact. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, yeah, now I handled that business quickly. Onward, shall we?
onward, buttercup.
Onward.
Yes. Tonight's show, we always talk about other dimensions. We're always talking about other places. We're always talking about the other space. Hey, what's up, Robert? Thank you for joining us, brother man. But tonight, we're going to talk about our planet, our Earth, and our dimension, because the miracles that take place here, the energy that takes place here, the phenomenon that takes place here on our planet, on our dimension, is worth talking about. And tonight I got some very interesting things, and I'm sure all of you have some really great ideas and opinions and insight. And that's what we do this panel for. So if you're tuning in, please get your coffee, get your beverage, whatever it may be. Sit down with me in the group. Let's talk. It's a great night for it. Beautiful night here in the Shenandoah Valley. I am in the Shenandoah Valley. Rhonda.
I am in the Tri-Cities area of Virginia, and it's beautiful here as well. It's a little hot today, but, we're good.
Keith.
He forgot where he was.
Where are you, Keith?
Oh,
I take it back. It's going
I
to be a
was
fun
just
night.
thinking about the message that just came over my phone that says Russia and alien. But yeah, I'm in Wymore, Nebraska.
Oh.
Hey, Gail.
And Mama Sue.
Oh, God. I'm in New Bedford, Massachusetts, the East Coast, the armpit of mass.
There it is. So you see, we're all over the place. Yep. We cover a wide spectrum. We go all the way to California. We have hosts and hostesses all over the United States, and we may be bringing some from overseas. So it'll be interesting. So I wanted to jump this off because and Keith and I on Paranormal Outlaws last night was an original format. we talked about some unusual things going on in the paranormal field. New theories, new thought, which is really not new. We're just finally bringing them to the forefront. And that led me to many other ideas in my research this past week. And the people, now I will say this, and I want to go on air and say this. I don't give dates because you don't recall dates. You hear the date, yes, and absolutely New Zealand. Hello, hello. Um, I don't give dates out because we don't retain dates. In this show, I give basic information. Why? Let you do the research. If you get a bite into the information, it encourages you to go and do and find out the info. Plus, this keeps from misinformation going out. And this way,
I'm giggling because you said you don't know, you don't put out dates. I'm like, you will put out dates like a bad dog. You'll tell me what I was doing in 1987 on June the 4th at 6 p.m.
how dare you call me out?
You're
How
not wrong.
rude. Okay, all right. So if you want to go there, okay, history time. Okay, I can't even go there. Leave me alone. So I just want people to understand that when I'm talking about something, when some of us talk about it, we may not give the date. There's a reason why. There really is a reason why. Our human attention span does not grasp the fundamentals at times, and that's everybody. Some people do grasp numbers. However, other people do not. So at times others don't. So that's what this is all about. And we want to thank you for being here. I want to jump into this and talk about the unusual events around our world through history. And I want to start this show out with Tesla. Now, I'm going to be very careful because I understand I will be fact checked. And that's okay because I do not plan to give any dates, but I do plan to give out accurate information. I'm not being facetious. Please think I am not. I am being straight up and honest. Okay, I'm being a little facetious. Anyway, so you guys, how much do you know about Tesla and how do you
Nothing.
well, that's all right, we're going to get you there. And and in today's society, what do you feel is Tesla technology now, other than the company? We're not talking about Elon Musk, but we will talk about him later with reason. So let's go to the co-hostess, as she wants to call
Of
herself.
course, I get to go first when I have no information except what you tell me.
What do you know about Tesla?
Not a lot. Mostly just that he did have theories on the paranormal, but not a lot, honestly.
Okay, well, we're going to get you there tonight, and I appreciate you for being honest. All right. So we know Susan's like already said, I'm out, score. No. She's like, screw it.
I have no idea.
Now remember, we did say the verbal vocalage, so something may slip tonight. Okay, so what? Shit happens. All right. Heath?
Yep.
Yes,
You, sir.
I am here.
Tesla.
Tesla. One of the main things, I mean, he had all kinds of inventions and theories and whatnot, but the main one he's remembered for working on was wireless energy transfer, transferring electricity from a huge tower that he built across a field to a lamp to light a light. He tried some other experiments too, the Tesla coil, for instance, pulling electricity from the air and sending it wirelessly through the air. He was just about there, almost succeeded, and all of his research was, from what I've read and heard, and in my opinion, was stolen by some high-ranking people who still have that technology and those papers. And we use his technology every day. We're using it right now because I'm using my Wi-Fi. The signal is being transferred from my computer to the Wi-Fi router to a satellite, back down to your routers to your screens.
Robert, you can say whatever you want.
Phone does the same thing. Signal goes up through the air to the satellite and right back down to the Earth to wherever you are sending that signal. It can find it. It knows where that other phone is. It's amazing technology. At one time, this was a pipe dream. This was a conspiracy theory. Communicators on Star Trek. Guess what? It's here. It's here, and I can't wait for the next few years to think a lot more of that technology is going to come out.
Well said. Well said. Today's world is filled with Tesla technology, Einstein theory, Thomas Edison's insight, and we all know that there's a battlefield between the Edisons and the Teslas. Okay, I'm on the Tesla battlefield. Okay, but I respect the work that Edison did, even though it is a proven fact that he took a good portion of Tesla's material and called it his own.
Yep.
So I am choosing to use my words correctly, but this is fact. Now,
So I have a question.
yes, shoot
He
away.
believed in energy and being able to send energy wirelessly, right?
Yes.
Did he proclaim that as universal energy? And I'm just thinking like Reiki and things of that nature, or
He believed that he could pull energy from the universe. There is an endless amount of energy in the universe, and he believed that he could pull it and transfer it for
That
free
makes
electricity for the world. The pyramids are actually rumored to have been able to do the same thing in their prime. They made electricity from a river flowing under the pyramid that vibrated a crystal going into the pyramid, and it radiated out electricity to obelisks all over the world. Those real tall, pointy things, and that's how they transferred electricity. The Egyptians did have, in fact, electricity.
Yes.
Susan.
Air Force, good to see you, and welcome.
Sorry,
Bill.
I'm bubbling over here. It is a question.
Yeah.
Now, according to some of the hieroglyphics inside the Egyptian pyramids, there is already tablets, computers, flying cars. And again, I know a guy that goes in there. A lot of this, and again, this is just stuff I have seen it in public. So is this something that has already been, and now it's getting reinvented and re-upped again? Because now I'm going way back in time.
In my opinion, yeah. We lost the technology for a while, and now we're finally regaining it.
Yep.
And if you think about it, it's dark inside that pyramid, and there is no smoke residue inside from torches.
Yes.
They had lights. They had light bulbs and batteries. They had pottery batteries.
Yep. They had computers and tablets and cell phones and all that stuff. Watches, phone watches, they had those too. Yep.
According to what records say, that this is actually information that is in the church in Rome. So, of course, if anybody wants to fact check that, please be our guest. These are facts that are actually at the Vatican. Gail comes across, so we're all the castle that was built in the late 15 and 1600s. The fireplaces were not made for wood burning. Interesting. Now, I don't know anything about that.
I was going to say, what were they built for?
Yeah, because I'm sitting here just goes, so, we are all the castles that were built in. Okay, I'm kind of losing you there, Gail. I'm trying to understand. Is it that you're saying they were used for something else other than warmth?
That's why I'm taking it.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, yeah, warmth of communication.
Could be. Well, we do know now. I'm going to fall back just a little bit and follow up on that. We do know that for a fact that there are channels in such castles that were built for a voice release. So in other words, you would speak into this tunnel and it would echo down to certain chambers of the castle. It's a fact. So you may communicate, the king, the guard, whichever, communicate to those certain chambers attack, meal, etc. Kind of like we saw in the plantation homes with bells. And actually, did y'all know that a lot of the plantation homes did have a version of voice comm in the plantations?
Yep.
Again, there were 3-inch square tubing that was put through certain plantation homes that you could actually speak into and would call for servant or someone was sick. And bells. They had string bells. This goes back to castles too. They had string bells, and each bell indicated something different.
Yep.
Heater vents when we were kids.
Right?
Same thing.
Yeah, the cans with the string.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep, those worked.
Yeah. Wow, we just went completely off that
Well,
topic.
and like, but even to notice, because we were at Belgrove all through Paracon, and we had never noticed it before because a lot of times we don't get to investigate the bedrooms upstairs. Well, of course, the chimney goes all the way up, and the fireplaces are all kind of connected, and we realized how much, like, we could hear like 2 floors down what was happening in like the library up in a bedroom, 2 floors up, or down in the basement because it was right through the fireplaces.
Interesting.
There you go.
Air Force One, which information are you talking about?
I think he's referring to the vet. So the channels in castles, but don't hold me to it. Yeah, give a little bit more definition, Air Force. That way we can look at it.
Which part of it do you want us to prove?
Exactly.
Or
Gail,
disprove?
the fireplaces were for heat and air. They had copper domes with wires that conducted the energy from the ester to heat and cool the air. Others were used for light.
Interesting. I hadn't heard that yet.
I have not heard that either, and that was a good one. Let's go there. And Keith, that's for you.
All the electricity that I'm talking about.
Hmm.
I don't know if I can prove or disprove that, actually. Like I said, it was a theory that Tesla had. We use the same energy in Reiki healing. Can I show you this energy? No, I cannot. I can post probably 1,000 links to different Reiki sites and teachers saying the energy exists. Can I prove it? No. But at one time, nobody could prove that electricity existed either. But yet, I'm using it right now. So
A lot of it
I
is
use to heal others when I do Reiki on them, and I have actually healed people with that energy. They can prove that. But I would have to get in touch with them to get in touch with you, and I'm not going to do that because that's their privacy.
right. And I can see where Air Force One is coming from, his point or her point. I don't want to really I'm not going to get into a debate, but I can back Keith up and go, if you want documentation, I'll be more than glad to share with you based on my family heritage and based on the information that I do. I can prove what's being said. So if you'd like me to do so, I'll be more than happy to do so. Find me on Facebook, and I'll be glad to give you all the links that's necessary.
Air Force One, did we? I'm going to ask this question. Did we trigger something with you? Did we upset you in some way? If we did, I apologize. We weren't trying to.
Okay.
Yeah, Robert, potato batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make electricity from potatoes.
Sorry, I think when we as individuals say we know, it's because of stuff that we have experienced over our lifetime, like energy. When you're talking about energy or electricity, and when you can't see the energy, but if somebody is happy going through chemo, that's an energy. They have an 80% more chance of survival than someone that is negative, which is also energy. That's what we're talking about.
Absolutely. And, again, that's why I allowed the somewhat debate, because he's always been very respectful for us. And again, he comes back and states, no disrespect to anyone. Here, you guys already know I love you to the end of the earth, but I always come in with a skeptic on, and I believe. Oh, thank you, Rhonda. Now that makes a lot more sense. And always, since when they started with us, they've always shown respect. and I'm not going to say his name. And thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate you for reminding me about that. Because I'm like, I know this person, but how do I know him? And now I know him. It is a good friend of the show and a good friend of the network. We'll just say that. And unless he wants to his name said, I will respect the Air Force woman. Wow, that was beautiful, and I love that fact that we're getting that in there.
You betcha.
He's good. He's good. He's good. I promise. He's good. So when we say this, we know. Well, in fact, we do.
What is that? Woo, woo.
It's been one of those weekends, folks. Please bear with the whatever alarm that is. I'm actually out on the patio. Sarah's
That's
actually.
Howie.
Yes.
Is that Howie? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's me. I want to go ahead and I'm going to offer this up if y'all can. There we go. Thank you. We do have facts. Thank you, Robert, for bringing this up. We do have archaeological fact of potato batteries. We do have archaeological fact of saltwater leaded batteries. We do have fact because thank you to Tesla, Nikolai Tesla, for the fact that we know how the pyramids were placed. And thank you, Keith, for earlier bringing that up.
Yeah.
That's where I was going. Tesla built his tower based on pyramid insight on the research that he had applied in researching what and how to do it. What he found is exactly what Keith had said earlier. The pyramids were built on aquifers, and that aquifer did have a metallic type pipe that ran straight through the pyramid all the way down into the aquifer. This is proven fact. In that, again, we see that there has been EMF readings off the charts in the pyramids. Proven fact. Again, we also know that these catacombs have an EMF charge to them as well. Now, I'm also going to give fact. How many of you knew that every one of the columns around the world is connected by a ley line to the pyramids?
Yes.
I know about the ley lines. I didn't know where it was connected, but I do know about
They are all connected. Yeah. If you follow your ley lines and follow the catacombs, they are all connected. Now, I'm going to bring something ironic that's not, it's off the chart for something. When I was doing the research at the cabin this past year, I found out that one of the major ley lines that comes from the pyramid shoots right through the cabin 360.
Wow. Nice.
And I'm like, okay, let's get this thing started, shall we? Now, let me continue with this, and then I'm going to read what our brother said here in just a second here. And by the way, Robert, don't get upset with Air Force. He's cool. He's just giving his position. Trust. Because my brother's probably going, who the fuck is it? Calm down, dude. Because he got quiet. Did y'all notice that Robert got quiet? That's probably because he's going, how shall I burn him? No. No, Robert. So let me continue.
Stand down, Robert. Stand down.
Right. Calm down. Stand down, number one. Well, we did find that Tesla did build his major Tesla tower the exact same way the pyramids. He wanted to go larger and taller, but he did not have the economic status to do so. Absolutely, brother. So he went on his economic status to build his Tesla tower, which is built exactly like a pyramid. It has its 4 points on its legs, and it does have a steel aquifer that goes all the way down in the ground. No congestion here. Very good. That goes down. What we're thinking is the aquifer was not large enough. Uh-oh.
What was that?
What is happening?
I think we're losing Keith. Keith, are you okay?
My computer just freaked out, and it started opening Windows in another browser, and there was no X button to close it out. It took me a second.
I think Nikolai's with you, sir.
I feel like we're being told.
I might be arguing a little bit. And
Are we
if
getting
you don't know what
switched?
sparking is, think of it like a static electricity charge. You build up electricity in your body, you touch metal and the electricity jumps. Well, that's kind of what arcing is. You build up too much energy and boom,
Boom.
Exactly.
blows light bulbs,
No.
blows up cell phones, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let me read this real quick. We must keep our minds open, but not so much that our brains fall out, and not so closed that nothing can get in. We don't know what we don't know. That's why we do what we do.
That's
Well,
perfect.
I love that.
That's perfect.
That needs to be on a shirt.
Oh my God, that is so good.
That needs
that
to
was-
be on a shirt.
Oh, I love that.
Hey, Sarah, nice and welcome. Thank you for being here.
You're in. Your comments right there.
into
You made it.
chat.
Thank
We'll
you.
work it out.
Continue.
Yes, absolutely. Rock on. What did Kenny say? Copper bronze rods used in the towers drove into the ground 40 feet. Thank you. Exactly right.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you, Robert. So this moves forward. Now we're talking about natural phenomena. Let's move from the science part of it into Siberia, shall we?
Sure.
Siberia?
Yes.
It's cold there. That's all I know about Siberia.
Cool it all off now.
It's cold and extremely windy. So way back when, there was a group of 9 adventurers who took a long hike. And in this hike, they went through a valley that they were told not to go through. As they did so, they made camp during this blistery, windy evening, and they were never heard from again. A rescue party was sent and found them. 5 of them were in the ground clothed. 3 of them were found further out, completely naked. They found the tent. The tents they were in were ripped from the inside out. And they found the majority of the parties had literal crushed bones. Their skulls were crushed, their fibulas, their elbows, their shoulders, completely crushed into dust. Now, let's talk, shall we? Let's talk natural science to mythology to possibility. Why would you think, or what would you think could cause such a traumatic event to 9 people that chose to ignore a situation?
German.
The possibilities are endless. Yetis, aliens, energy fields, or if there was a portal, they could have got stuck in and out of the portal. So there's many different possibilities.
Could it be natural at all? I mean, I don't know much about. I mean, could it be an avalanche where they're tossed amongst things?
If it was an avalanche, I would think the tent would be covered.
Not ripped. Unless they were there and the tent tossed. I don't know.
Okay, what they did find is the tents were not tossed. They were in solid mode, but the bodies were found underneath snow and ice. Yes. I'll give you that much.
Maybe some kind of oxygen deficiency, and they went nuts and attacked each other. I don't know.
Now we're talking. That's why I wanted to talk tonight, so we can brain and think and talk as a collective unit.
And it could be a combination of things, because if they had maybe hypothermia, low oxygen levels, they're starting to hallucinate, attack each other. That is pooling all of their negative energy into one. If there were fae around, if there were negative entities around, that could have added to. Some people believe in them, some people don't, and that's okay. It's hard telling what happened.
What you're not doing is asking the questions. You're making your opinions an insight. This is my point. And it's nothing against you guys. My God, you guys are rolling tonight. Okay, hold tight. I'm going to try to keep up. I'm going to go here first. Sarah.
Awesome.
Anybody want to read that?
I think some sort of chemical was seeping out from the area somewhere. Something anomalous, unknown. They killed each other.
Excellent. Thank you, Sarah.
Maybe like mercury poisoning.
And Robert drops. We got Bigfoot here in VA. They have Bigfoot crossings in Salem, Virginia. No joke.
They
But
do.
yeah, he did. He experienced it. He saw the sign yesterday. We actually do. We actually do have Bigfoot crossing signs here in Roanoke. We literally
You
do.
asked a really good question. She said, "Why were there 3 naked?" And I have a question because you said some were naked, some were clothed. Were they all beaten to that degree?
No.
Okay, so which ones were beaten up like that, and which weren't?
All 3 of those that did not have clothes were severely beaten, and 2 of the clothes people that were clothed. And now let's get into detail. Let's take the 3 out and let's go with the 6. Okay, 3. Here's that numbers. Get ready there, Keithy. 3 of them had complete clothing, everything suit to do their walk. 3 of them had minor clothing, pants, shirt, some minor things such as canteens, etc. Out of those 6, if I remember correctly, let me reverse that. I think 2 of them had the bruisings and the body destruction. Does that help?
Were there any footprints around?
No.
Hmm.
See?
Could have been buried, though. Could have been buried.
Could have been, because now if we take the equation that the bodies were buried, and let me now, the question that nobody's asked, let me now offer this. This valley is known for its high pressure, low temperature winds that create a low tone howl. They're also known, of course, in this valley ridge area for its electromagnetic forces. It is also known to have the mythology of a Yeti. So all 3 of you were right in your insight at first. However, the natural science to me is bringing it very interesting into point of view. Let's catch up here, Sarah. And let me refer to Gail. Yes, 3 of them were naked. Yes, ma'am. Sarah, they might have inhaled, absorbed it. You know what? There is reports that some of the water was contaminated, and they do not know why.
Huh.
Robert, they were sleeping nude when they were killed. Don't know. We weren't there.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have more information.
Yeah, I would not be sleeping cold in an Arctic situation, personally. But you never know. Maybe they're hot-blooded. Gail, were any of them that were cut up for eating? No. There was not brutal, from what I understand from the reports, there was no lacerations, no bruising externally. It was all internal. So the 3 bodies that had crushed bones looked like it was compression damage from an outside force, not internal force. Now, here's the kicker. You guys, you're going to keep asking me questions. I'm trying to keep up with y'all. Big chat. After the reports came out, the Soviet Union stopped all the reports immediately. They only came out with one. The one report came out that the deaths were based on a outside compression force, and then the Soviet shut it down and not allowed anything else to be said.
Well, then they know something about it that they don't want out. And I have a question. If it was so cold, how did those bodies get in the ground? Because that ground would be frozen rock solid.
That's true.
It's very true. Because they didn't have snowshoes when they were doing it. They actually had the old school snowshoes, because this is early 1900s.
That would have to be some kind of, like one of you said, portal where they like slipped. You've seen movies where you go through a portal and you end up on the other side stuck half in a rock or half in a wall.
Yeah, it's a good thing I can't play Stranger Things.
Like time hopping or something.
Yeah, who knows? Man, my hair on my arms is standing up.
Me
too.
This is why I brought this to the show tonight, because it's a natural phenomenon that cannot be explained at this point.
if we had some of the information that the Russian government probably hid, we might be able to explain a little bit more.
This is why I'm trying to give you as much as I can. I do know this, that the tone of the winds that were blowing through the valley are on a hyper low tone frequency.
Do we know which frequency?
I did not research that, but I'm sure we can. Well, I don't know. Maybe we can find out. Maybe that's hidden. That's
Yeah,
a
I was
valid.
gonna say, is it a frequency that makes people mentally unstable?
They're
Where they
also-
say things like, "Let's take all my clothes off because my clothes are making me cold." I don't know.
But
Like,
there are also certain frequencies and sounds that do open up the portals.
true.
And shut them down.
Yeah.
Yes.
So before we go any further, Sarah, my imagination goes towards possession that caused aggression, but I'm probably wrong.
No,
No.
not necessarily.
No. Do not say you're wrong when you don't have the answer. That leaves it as an open statement. Nobody's wrong until proven wrong.
Right.
Look,
It's a theory.
that's right. Not from any departed spirits, but something alien or demonic. I get a bit out there with my musing. Welcome to the show. You're now a traveler. Find us on Facebook and be a part of us.
I sent her a link to the Rift Nation page.
Beautiful.
I'm sure
Welcome
it's
to the
good.
family. Welcome. Hair Force, it's my bad. I forgot to thank you for the kind welcome to the chat. You guys are so awesome. Well, absolutely welcome, brother.
Thank you.
All the time. Michelle hits up. I'm late, but hello, everybody.
Hey, Michelle.
Travelers. So we have this situation where we don't have all the information, but I can give you what I can. High EMF. We have wind that's blowing faster than 30 miles per hour, making a low tone frequency. And they did say it's subsonic, Keith, if that will help. Okay.
Okay.
We have no footprints. There was no footprints found. We did find the bodies under the snow and ice. So they did have a couple of bodies out under ice. The camp was hardly disturbed with the exception of the tent.
Ripped from the inside out.
Ripped from the inside out.
So they were all inside the tent and were all infected by the same thing. You said the water was contaminated. We had subsonic frequencies from the wind, blowing, friction, who knows what kind of anomalies from the earth itself, from the stones, the crystals that are around. That's the perfect storm right there.
Now, you're exactly right. Let's look at the. I saw that. Well, everybody's going wookie tonight, aren't they? So I saw that.
I just heard somebody talking. Sorry.
We heard it. I've got it recorded. We recorded it.
All right.
Sweet.
I heard it too, Susan.
Yep.
Okay, good. The band. Don't know who it is yet. I was trying to look it up because I did see something. I was doing some research for something else, and I ran across there's a certain frequency that you play, and it's definitely a low vibrational frequency. And there's been a few experiments, and again, this is just theorized information.
Men who stare at ghosts.
Open portals.
Yeah.
So somebody did it inside an actual hotel room and stuff. But I can't find the actual frequency. That's what I'm looking up.
I got you.
There's John Harris. He should be in on this conversation.
Hello, John. Good evening, sir. Hair Force, we all do realize that I'm not going to say that right, DLIVET, I can never say that word, mystery has been solved. I don't think it has been solved, they say, but that's not been solved. There's too many equations that are leading to that situation. He also comes back with, do you know that the VFX crew at Disney solved this? Supposedly solved it. Supposedly solved that. You get it's just too many equations that are still there, and they gave a possible answer to the actual situation, which is what we're doing too. I mean, we don't even have the equipment out there, and just by the information we're given, we can see into that. What's up, John? Good to see you tonight. Sarah hits up. Sound waves are insanely powerful and can be mind altering. You can even manifest things with sound, and you can make them disappear with sound too. Gail says, same, I heard it. Cool. Gail heard it. Air Force like, come on now. And there you go. All right. So this is an interesting thing. We're finding that our own planet, our own universe, has mystery after mystery. And it has our own unique things about it that we can't explain. For instance, and we're not going to go deep into this because we only have 15 more minutes. Let's look at Suicide Forest over in Asia. Okay.
Now,
Again,
I've not heard about this.
yes, this is the forest where supposedly people go to commit suicide or harikari. Okay, well, it started with samurai going to this forest and committing harikari, and then the other tale was lost and hurt and killed lovers would go to this forest to commit suicide to be with their loved ones. And now it's come to there's actually signs around this particular forest that say don't go into this area, especially if you're thinking about committing suicide, blah blah blah. Um, the what we have found, I rephrase that. I say humans. There's strings that have been found that go into the forest from its entrance, so you can find the body. These people know the whole down and down of it, so they tie the string and they walk into their little place and commit harikari. There's been paranormal research.
Do they think the forest does it to them, or they? I mean, because to me that's premeditated. I'm tying the string because I'm gonna go do this.
That is premeditated, and I agree. Sarah says absolutely. Let me hint. It's damn near only the forest in Japan. Exactly. Their workload is very great, and this is true. And the values are different from what we understand. Therefore, you have what you have. Now, that's based on that, but it's not just Asian people that have gone there, though. So Air Force know that, but this is true, and I'll give him that answer. He's got a great point of where he's coming from.
Right.
So yes, exactly. Oh my God, like the area most populated by the dead. Yeah, exactly. Now they did go in and research the forest. It does have high MEFs. There's several paranormal research teams, that being the oldest, ASSAP, who have sent 5 members into this forest of death, and they recorded phenomena that they can't explain. They have recorded high electro and magnetic forces in this location. They've recorded voices from wherever. They've recorded shadows and unexplained smoke and mist. So there's a whole slew of things that could be taking place in this one place. And these are all crazy bad stories, I know, but that's the bulk of it, because what I'm going to talk about at the end of this just shows what we started talking about at the beginning and how we're going to end this. So it's like any dense forest. You go in, you could be mentally jacked up in your head. Keith, if you've had the F-bomb, it would have been a great time to drop that for that one. Thank you.
I was ready this time.
There you go. So it is a good possibility between our mental stability, anxiety, and frustration. When people go here, they know what they're going for. It is with intent, and I agree. I don't recall researching any story that a person went there without intent to do this act. They all had the intent. Many people have said that survived their ordeal of wanting
So
to.
there's some people that went there that didn't extinguish themselves.
Some have walked back out.
Okay.
Yes, they did have second thought, but many of them said they were felt drawn by a voice or something for them to do it there. That's where they were to do it.
Like a siren.
Yes.
Interesting.
It could be. Now, is there a lot of blood on this land? And on top of that, is there like a ley line underneath?
I don't know about the ley line, but I would say blood. Therefore, we go back to the original beginning of the story where I said samurai would go to this location and commit harikari.
Okay.
Because
So
they consider their
is blood on
lord.
the land similar to, Anawan Rock, That's blood on the land. There's a lot of shadows. There's oh God, I forget the name of the other ones. There's also ghost light, ghost candles. There's a lot of energy there because of the blood on the land, because Anawan himself, the Wampanoag, had his head on a spike there. So if the samurais also had blood on the land there, the blood on the land would retain the energy of what has happened, because the earth is energy. And again, this is my opinion. This is like all the metaphysical stuff. So to me, it would be similar.
I tend to agree with you on that. Now I'm going to bring this up.
Has anything come up even? I was just going to say, like, beyond the samurais, was there war on that land?
I don't know. There's no other record than that. And actually, the samurais, it was not a war. This is where
but that was where they would go to do it. But I just wondered, like, talking about blood on the land. I mean, a war there or something that happened there.
True.
Could even inspired the samurais to want to go there.
And Rhonda, I'm going to have you read Sarah, but I want to follow up on something that Air Force just said. He said, again, culture we're not familiar with. Actually, I'm very familiar with that culture. So that's why I brought it up. I am very familiar with the culture and the understandings and the history of that land, because I am a student of Bushido. So I'm just giving that out. I'm not talking from my rear end. So my butthole is not just talking shit. No pun.
Yeah, honor was important above all else.
Yeah.
All right, Rhonda, if you'll give us Sarah.
I got it. Way I've always seen it is that there's a hole the energy of a place can be changed by what happens there. Just like a house, you may have a residual haunting. The house or location is actually alive, like an organism, and the energy that flows through it is life force. Even if it is residual, now add intelligent haunting to that, and you have one hell of an active location.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And actually, I just told you the history, you goob. I can go into detail. I did not go into basic and pull the fact out, but if you want the details, you know who. I will be more to give you that too. Stop trying to fur my back, buddy. I love him. He stirs my emotions. This is very interesting. But thank you, Gail. So we have all of this. Let's end this on a positive note.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me bring this up. Gail sits. Very interesting. And Air Force, don't you dare getting upset with me because you been plucking me out at night. I'm going to pluck your bundle. And things happen because of the chaotic energy. Yes. We didn't go through these rabbit holes we could have. I need to feel alive.
He likes it.
Howie, you already know I got nothing but love for you. I know, brother. That's why I knew you were just plucking my nerve. So let's talk about Florida. Here recently, in the last 60 years. Again, I said we want to end this on a note. We're talking about the natural phenomena of our world. We come back to the United States, and we talk about a gentleman who made a stone garden using supposedly the only thing he had was a tripod, a chisel, and a hammer. Please, Keith, go right ahead, brother man.
No, I'm kind of familiar. I read a little bit about it, so I know what you're talking about, but I don't know a lot about it. So go ahead, man.
Oh, Sarah, you want to talk about rabbit holes? You stay tuned. You're at the right place for a rabbit hole. Why do you think I wear a hat? That's why they call me the Mad Hatter.
He pulls the wabbits out of it.
All right, so look, rabbit, ghost. Okay, sorry. All right, so Jason Buzzclaws. Yeah, apparently. Oh, damn. Here we go. I know what he's talking about. Stop it.
I haven't seen Jason, so I'm not sure what that means.
I know exactly what he's saying. So he would move 5,000 pound to 5-ton to 10-ton blocks overnight and place them in positions that was not applicable to the equipment that you would see. And he would give to the point where kids actually saw him each day in a position of a stone would be in that. And I think it's Coral Rock, but don't hold me to it. Robert's like, ha ha. Yeah. So how did he do it? Now, he, like Tesla, did a lot of research into Egyptian theory. So there is thought, and after he passed away, he did say he did use a form of frequency to move his stones into place. The whole purpose behind this stone garden was to give tribute to his dead wife who had passed.
Aw.
He was trying to make this garden for her, and she passed while he was creating this garden. So in her memory, he finished the garden in her name. How did he do it?
I was curious about that. Like you said, like what frequencies he, like what was he looking for? How did he know what to? That's very curious, but so beautiful.
Yes. And that's why I wanted to bring it and use it as our last point of the topic tonight on something positive. Yes, she passed away, but out of his heart, out of his connection to his wife, he broke the boundaries of what we understand in law and physics to make something amazing for his wife.
Maybe she was guiding him.
Now we're talking about spiritual energy, right?
Right.
What is the possibility? Since we use Keith, Sue, since we use Reiki
Yeah.
to help others,
Right.
or we use hands-on, or we utilize in our spiritual to help others in other ways, how come we can't connect with the spirit world and have the spirit world help us do certain things when we always go to science, even though it is still science? What energy would that the spirits would be using to move these in a direction?
Okay, my quick opinion, it literally has all to do with whether or not you believe it. Think of a bee. A bumblebee technically is not supposed to be able to fly. Their body is heavier than their wings. Scientific fact. But they can fly. Why? Because nobody told them they couldn't. If somebody is positive enough, spiritually, mentally, physically, and they believe that they can do it, they're not going to find the barriers. They will find the answers for what it is that they do want to accomplish.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, he's really looking close here.
Oh, I'm trying
Reading.
to.
Okay. Yeah.
In the house. I'm just responding to our good friend across the water.
Yeah.
What
So
about
That's my theory.
hello?
what about telekinesis?
Now
Yeah.
that's another one.
Yep.
Right.
You know,
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yep.
people have been
Yeah.
proven to be able to bend spoons in front of
Air Force
scientists,
have a great one.
move things.
Yep.
When I get angry, especially when I was still possessed, if I would get angry,
Right.
things would fly. Things
Yeah.
would fly through this house. Sometimes at me, sometimes at other people.
Yep.
Sometimes rather large objects in the garage would move, like my engine hoist. The power of the mind, we don't understand the power of the mind.
Exactly.
We only use a small percentage of it. So
Exactly.
if we are tapping into that at times, could be a possibility. Not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying it's a
You're
possibility.
correct. His pineal gland could have been totally open. He had nothing else to lose, so he opened his pineal gland enough, and that would expand his brain.
Well, and I agree with what Keith
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
How many times when you're in a bad mood and you're walking through your house and the doorknob grabs your shirt and locks onto it because you're in a bad mood, or you wrap your little baby toe around the table leg because you're in a bad mood? It
That's
all
spirit
happens.
saying, slow down and breathe.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys, do not keep your mind too open.
Don't worry, I got a needle and
I
thread.
don't want my brains to fall out. Nothing like that.
Well, we have come to
Gotta
the
keep
top
them
of the hour.
intact.
Yeah. We have come to the top of the hour. Thank you both so much for joining Rhonda and I.
This has been fun.
This is
It was
why I
fun.
wanted to do the show. Something different. I love just to get together and chat sometimes.
Yes.
And having this panel is really good, and it helps us refocus sometimes. Sometimes we need to go back to old school to go forward. And
Yes.
tonight was just that. And I want to thank y'all. Rhonda, thank you so much for being here with me again.
Yep, absolutely.
I've had an amazing weekend. I hope you all have. I spent some time with my brother last night here in town.
Cool.
I saw a wonderful band called The Kind. And then I hung out with Keith last night, and here I am again. What a wonderful day. Oh, in fact, I'm going to say this. Happy Pride Day. Happy Pride Month. I want to acknowledge all of our friends here in Roanoke. Yet it be Charlene and Inya and Jasmine. We witnessed, I want to end this on today. We witnessed something very special. Sarah and I, I'm not going to go because I see she's laughing really bad. That's not good.
It's hilarious.
Watch out for the doorknobs. Okay.
No, that wasn't it.
I bet it's not. So, oh God.
Oh,
All right. I'm not going to go look.
okay. I just got that. I just seen that. What do you want from me? I'm Irish. I just open my mouth to everything,
It's all good. So we had we met someone named Jasmine.
Yeah.
That retired today from doing all of this. She wanted to focus her energy in her new business and into her husband. Now, I'm going to say this. For those who do not know, not all those in drag are men. There's a lot of women in drag and a lot of men who participate themselves as men in drag. So we're just acknowledging that. I want to say hello to everybody at the club park, and to all of our friends and all of you out there. It doesn't matter your color, your race, your skin, your sex. Thank you for being here. We're all travelers because we all bleed red. May virtue be yours.
Peace.